Hi, I'm Don, and today I am going to show you how to weather the steel panels that I have available on eBay. Uh, these panels can be used on stick-built buildings that you make, or you can actually use them on, let's say, Walthers or Fowler or whatever type of building that you have. These really work well for industrial type settings, like coal plants, you name it, steel foundries, whatever. They bring so much definition and life to each building, and realism, and that's, I think, the goal of all of us, is to have some realism in our model train layouts. So I want you to enjoy this video, and if you have any questions, comments, likes, dislikes, please let me know in the comments, and I will be sure to get back with you. And I appreciate your purchase, and I appreciate you watching this video. So enjoy. I want to thank you for tuning into this video. I am going to show you at this point how to actually finish the roofing panels. My previous video, I showed you how to cut and apply them and how to square them off. So now that I have this all applied, then we're going to finish it. One thing I did want to note, and I'm not sure I had it said it in my previous video, but in some instances, like if you're going to be placing these over, let's say, another, like a Walthers building that's plastic, these will stick, but they have a tendency maybe on the ends to want to come up. If you do have that issue, what I have found best is if you put some, oh shoot, I just forgot it, contact cement, and place it on the side of the panels and then on the side of the actual roof, that will help the adhesion issue. So if you should have that problem, you might want to try that. I'm sure there's other ways that you can do it where, to get it to adhere and stay down. So at this point, I am going to go ahead. What I'm going to do for my base is I'm going to go ahead and spray this. And I'm going to spray it with a, basically a gray primer. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll begin to do the rest of the finishing. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to apply our wash. And the wash I've made right here, as you can see, is basically a watered down type of acrylic paint. And these are the paints I use. You can get them at Walmart, any hobby store. They work really, really well. And I've used pewter gray, or there's another color. It's a gray and black. It's called pavement. And then we have melted chocolate, which is more like a brown, which would be to resemble kind of dirt. So basically what you do is you take your watered down paint mixture and you brush it on. There's no set technique for doing it, but you just kind of wash it on there. What I like to do is make sure you get it up under each layer, because in reality, usually where the dirt tends to be more noticeable is right under each layer, right at the crease. So that's what we want to do. And you can just work it in. It kind of takes a little bit because of the base being oil and then the acrylic on top. So you just have to work it in as best as you can. And then we'll go back and I'll show you how you can detail it even more. Okay, so once you get that, then what you can do is just take the paper towel and you can just start to brush it off. Okay? And you can see it's starting to give it a nice weathered effect. And you just keep going in sections like that. And, there's really no, like I said, wrong way to do it. And you can play with it as much as you want. It depends on how dirty you want it to be. Now, if you were, let's say it was a building that, that would be related to coal. Obviously, anything with coal is going to be blackened. Where I live here, we have a place that's called Canton Drop Forge, and it's a foundry where they forge steel into specialized parts. And you drive by that factory, and it is it's a dark, sooty mess. So it's very reminiscent of what I'm trying to tell you here. So again, we're going to just brush that on, and then just wipe it off like that. You got to keep working at it until you get the look that you want. Now, like I said, you want to try to get the darker part right underneath each edge, because that's where the dirt is going to be more concentrated. So you just brush it on, get it up in there like that, right on the edge. And then what you can do is dab it too a little bit here. So dab it on top. The other thing that I do also is I have little swabs that work good too. So you just keep doing it. Do it all over. I'm going to take a little bit more paint, kind of make it a little bit stronger so it adheres better. So just keep doing that. And just going over it. It's amazing how, it just turns out so realistic. You're resembling, like I said, something that, what it would look like if it were real. So, one thing that's great, like I said, where I live too, there's a Timken roller bearing company, and they have a huge foundry, steel mill, and factory, and that's a great place. I like going by there because I look at it and think, gosh, I would love to duplicate that for my layout. Maybe I will make my own steel foundry. Okay, but going down the line here, the other thing that you can do too, if you want to get more color on here, is you can let this set for a while too, and it will adhere a little bit heavier, and then go back and wipe it. That's another thing you can do. See, I'm kind of dipping back in my paint a little bit to get it a little stronger in places. And then go back over it with the wash. Just keep going down the line. So, some of these spots are kind of resisting taking the paint. You just got to keep going over it, kind of breaking down that oily layer that from the spray paint. Just go like that, and then again we're going to just rub it and dab it. See, some of this I let set a little longer, so it is adhering a little bit better. Okay, so just wiping down, and okay, it's starting to look good. Okay, now we can go back again and just kind of do right underneath that ledge of each one. See, now that it's got that wash over it, the acrylic is going to stick a little bit better too. So you just run it all along here, right up under there, tuck it right up under there. Okay, and then we're going to go to the next layer, and right underneath. Now, once again, you can just dab, and if you dab, you can dab a little, dab a lot. Depends on, there again, how much soil and dirt you want to appear. Now, the other thing you can do also with this is, in nature, I guess, or in real life, what tends to happen is that, you'll get kind of some areas where things might run down a little bit, so you can kind of simulate that also, but just kind of running some areas down like this. It doesn't have to be everywhere, but it can be in different areas if you want. And I've found that really makes it look nice. If you, let's say you would have a pipe sticking up out of here for some reason, you can also take and put a little bit more soil running down from that pipe also. That's another thing you can do. So I'm going to show you, try to get a little closer to the camera so you can see how this is starting to turn out there. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to, here's oil pastels, and these also you can get at any hobby store. You can get them at Walmart also. And then what I have that I use a lot is, these are decorative chalk, and it's basically just colored chalk. Now I use the black and the rust color the most. The other ones I just don't use too much. But anyways, now I'm going to show you how to use the powders. Now this is where things can really step it up and make it look even more realistic. And what I'm going to do, because I want you to get a better angle, I'm going to stick this up like that and see if that helps. So I want you to see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to dip into my rust color pastel. That one's a little stiff. I'm going to use my powder. I love my powder. I use this a lot. Whoop. Okay, so we've got the rust colored powder. And this is going to simulate, obviously, rust. And you do get, especially like, let's say, an upturned corner here, if you want to upturn it a little bit. And obviously, anytime there's damage on a steel roof, you're going to get some rust coming down from that. So what you do is you just take that powder and you run it down like it's like the water is making the rust run down the roof, and that really makes it look realistic. It makes it look old and used, and that's kind of the point. So you can do that. Now you can do it all over, or you can do it in just certain areas. Just, it's up to you, however you want to do it. I like to do more than just one spot. I kind of tend to put it all over, because like I said, in the real world, you're going to see this kind of thing. When I get down to the Timken company, I see this kind of thing. So this is realistic here. Really, really makes it look good. Now you can do as much as you want. If you like a lot of detail, you can do a lot of detail. If you like a little bit of detail, you can do a little bit of detail. It's up to you. So you just wash it down like that. And then what you can do is you take a brush and you can brush it in a little bit like this. It kind of blends it in, which really makes it look nice. So you just blend it in like that. And I don't know on the camera if it's showing all the detail. It looks like it is. So that's, I think that turned out pretty good. Now, there's also the black powder, which there again is kind of the same as the wash, but the black powder, the powder tends to really bring out color and bring out definition if you want this to be really, really dirty looking. So it's definitely something that you can do. And just brush it on and get it to where you like it. And like I said, there's no set rules. You know, it really goes according to your taste. And I think that really looks good. Now, you could also, like I said, I've got some darker gray. You can add that. You can actually, you know, go back in after you've done the powder if you want. You can add a little bit more detail, you know, especially under these ridges. I kind of really like detail under those ridges a little bit more. So, maybe just a little bit more. And try to give it some depth. This really gives it depth more than anything. You just go underneath, it makes it pop out. So right up underneath there. Now with that, I went with more of a, not so much of a wash color, but I use full strength really. And then you just go back and kind of touch it up. You can also, oops, pull those up. You can also brush it in like that. Let's see. Maybe get a little bit more water here. Maybe touch that up a little bit there. Kind of got a little bit of paint off. Let's see. So you can see now it's giving it a little bit more definition by going along that bottom. It really does make it pop. It looks more three-dimensional. And that's always a good thing in model trains. You definitely want three-dimensional. So it does help. I hope you can see this, how it's making a big difference, making everything pop. Just like that. I got a little bit too much down here, and just dab it off. You can also use, I don't know if I said, you can use Q-tips. They work really well. So you can see there, it definitely looks old, weathered, and I think that's about it. Like I said, you can do pretty much anything you want, and it's up to you how much detail you want, but I guarantee you, you will fall in love with this. It's a wonderful thing. Like I said, I use these panels on my Walthers and Fowler and all my industrial buildings. I put this over the plastic roof because it gives it a totally different appearance. So, you know, I would encourage you to try that. If you're not actually stick building your own building, you know, applying these on top, it really, really looks great. So I want to thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more videos. If you have any questions or you have any comments, or maybe you just have some tips on different things that you'd like to do, I'd appreciate it if you would leave a comment, drop me a line, whatever, and I'll be sure to get back to you. I'm here to help in any way I can. I've been doing model trains since I was a little kid, so I'm 56 years old, so it's been a while. So anyways, thank you for watching the video. I thank you for purchasing my products, and I look forward to posting another video and talking to you again. God bless.